The battle was over, but the world still looked broken. Smoke moved across the black ground like dark ghosts. Burned ships covered the battlefield. Pieces of metal and broken weapons were everywhere. Small fires still burned inside the ruins. The air smelled like ash, fuel, and death. Far above the battlefield, damaged ships disappeared into the red sky. The fighting had ended hours ago, but fear still remained. A human rescue team walked carefully through the ruins. They were not soldiers. They came after wars ended. Their job was simple: find survivors, help the wounded, leave before new fighting started again. Nobody liked missions like this. Battlefields were never truly safe.
I see it.
Captain Roran led the team through the smoke with slow, careful steps. The soldiers around him carried rifles and scanners. Everyone stayed quiet. Only one person looked different: Elias, the youngest medic in the group. He was not large or intimidating. He carried medical equipment instead of heavy weapons. His hands were trained to heal, not kill. Still, even Elias could feel something strange in the air that night. The battlefield felt too quiet, too empty, like something dangerous was still watching them. Then one of the soldiers suddenly stopped. "Walking." "Wait," he whispered. Everyone froze. The soldier looked down at his scanner. His face slowly turned pale. Captain Roran frowned. "What did you find?" The soldier swallowed hard. "Life signal." Roran looked around carefully. "Human?" The soldier slowly shook his head. "No, sir." His voice became quieter. "Alien." Another soldier stepped closer. "How many?" The scanner beeped again. "Only one." For a second, nobody moved. Then the soldier looked toward a crashed alien ship, half buried under broken metal and ash. "The signal is coming from there." Elias lifted his own scanner and checked the reading. Weak heartbeat, critical condition, still alive. Captain Roran suddenly cursed under his breath. "No." One of the soldiers looked confused. "What is it?" Roran stared at the crashed ship for several silent seconds. Then he gave an order. Everyone stepped back. The fear in his voice immediately changed the atmosphere. The soldiers slowly moved away from the wreckage. Some even raised their weapons. Elias frowned. "Sir?" Roran looked directly at him. "That signal belongs to Shakara." Silence covered the battlefield. Even the wind seemed to stop moving. Every soldier there knew the name: Shakara, the alien warrior feared across the galaxy. The woman called the Red Ghost.
The levels are rising.
Stories about her existed on hundreds of worlds. Entire armies disappeared after fighting her. Some people said she survived direct plasma explosions. Others believed she could kill armored soldiers with her bare hands. Most believed one thing: nobody could touch Shakara and survive. One nervous soldier took 2 steps backward. She should be dead. Another tightened his grip on his rifle. Maybe we should finish the job now. Elias looked toward the crashed ship again. Under the broken metal, he could barely see part of a body trapped inside the wreckage. Dark armor, blood, one unmoving arm. Captain Roran spoke coldly. "We leave her." Elias looked shocked. "Sir, she's alive. She's dangerous. She's wounded.
It's almost finished.
She's a monster." Elias stayed silent for a moment. Then his scanner suddenly gave a warning sound. The heartbeat was fading. Fast. Without thinking, Elias stepped toward the wreckage. Immediately, several soldiers raised their weapons. "Medic, stop!" But Elias kept walking.
Warning.
Slowly, carefully,
Critical infection
toward the most
detected.
feared alien
System
warrior
failure
in the
imminent.
galaxy. Under the broken metal, one clawed finger suddenly moved, and every soldier on the battlefield froze in fear. Elias stopped only a few steps away from the wreckage. The heat from the burning metal touched his face. Smoke drifted around him in slow waves. Behind him, the rescue team stood frozen with fear. Every rifle was pointed at the crashed ship. Every eye watched the broken warrior trapped beneath the metal. Captain Roran's voice came from behind him. "Elias! Come back now!" But Elias did not move. His scanner continued beeping softly in his hand. Weak heartbeat, failing breathing, critical condition. To the soldiers, Shakara was a nightmare. To Elias, she was still a patient. He carefully climbed over broken metal and knelt beside her. For the first time, he saw the alien warrior clearly. Her black armor was shattered across one side of her body. Deep cracks ran through the metal plates. Dark blood covered her chest and arm. One shoulder guard was completely missing. But even injured, she looked dangerous, powerful, like a weapon barely holding itself together. Her face was partly hidden beneath ash and damaged armor. One glowing eye remained closed. The other slowly opened. The moment it moved, the soldiers behind, Elias panicked. Weapons clicked loudly. One soldier shouted, "She's awake!" Shakara's glowing eye locked onto Elias instantly. Cold, sharp, dangerous. Even badly wounded, her presence felt heavy, like death itself was staring at him. A low mechanical sound suddenly came from her armor. Tiny red lights appeared across the cracked plates. A hidden blade slowly slid out beside her wrist. The soldier stepped backward immediately. Captain Roran raised his rifle. "Move away from her!" But Elias stayed calm. He slowly lifted both hands away from his medical tools. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said quietly. Shakara stared at him without blinking. Her breathing sounded painful and uneven. Blood continued dripping from beneath the broken armor. Elias noticed something worse. The edges of her wound were black, not burned, poisoned, some kind of chemical weapon. The toxin was spreading through her body, slowly killing her from inside. Elias carefully removed a small medical scanner from his pack and held it where she could see it. Blue light glowed softly in the dark smoke. Shakara's blade trembled slightly. One fast movement could kill him. Everyone knew it. But Elias kept his voice calm. "You're dying," he said softly. Her eye narrowed. Maybe she understood his words. Maybe only his tone. Elias slowly pointed toward the wound. "I can help." For several long seconds, nothing moved. The battlefield stayed silent, except for distant fire and broken engines. Then Shakara tried to move beneath the wreckage. Pain instantly crossed her face. A weak sound escaped her throat. Not anger, pain, real pain. Elias saw it clearly. For the first time, the terrifying warrior did not look like a monster. She looked tired, alone, abandoned. Captain Roran shouted again, "Medic! Fall back immediately!" Elias ignored him. Instead, he slowly opened his med pack. The soldiers behind him looked shocked. Nobody in the galaxy willingly touched Shakara. Nobody. But Elias removed a clean medical cloth and carefully reached toward her wound. The hidden blade beside Shakara's wrist instantly moved higher. The soldiers screamed warnings, but Elias stopped his hand halfway and looked directly into her glowing eye. "I need permission," he said quietly. The battlefield became completely still. Then something impossible happened. Slowly, painfully. Shakara's fingers unclenched. The hidden blade slid back into her armor with a soft, metallic click. And for the first time in her life, the deadliest warrior in the galaxy allowed someone to touch her. The moment Shakara allowed him closer, Elias finally released the breath trapped inside his chest. Slowly, carefully, he pressed the medical scanner against the cracked armor near her wound. Blue light moved across her body. The scanner suddenly flashed red. Warning symbols filled the screen. Her condition was worse than Elias expected. The Poison inside her blood was spreading fast. Very fast. If he failed now, she would die within minutes. Behind him, Captain Roran stepped forward through the smoke. His voice sounded angry, but fear still hid underneath it. "Elias, this is your last warning." The medic ignored him. His eyes stayed focused on the scanner. Shakara watched him silently. No fear, no panic, only confusion. She had fought humans for years. Humans feared her. Humans hated her. Humans ran from her. But this one knelt beside her in the dirt like she was worth saving. Elias opened a small silver case from his med pack. Inside were emergency medical injectors. Human medicine, not alien. Using the wrong dose could stop her heart instantly, but without treatment, she would die anyway. He checked the readings again. Then again. His hands stayed calm even while the soldiers behind him argued loudly. "We should leave! She'll kill him! This is insane!" Captain Roran grabbed Elias by the shoulder. "We are done here!" Elias finally looked up. "She's dying. She's dangerous. She's wounded," Elias answered quietly. Roran's jaw tightened. "That thing has slaughtered entire armies." Elias glanced back at Shakara. For a moment, he did not see a monster. He saw blood, pain, exhaustion, a person left behind to die alone. Then something unexpected happened. Shakara spoke. Her voice sounded rough and weak. "Why?" The single word cut through the smoke. Even the soldiers fell silent. Her glowing eye stayed fixed on Elias. Why would a human help her? Why risk death for an enemy? Why kneel beside the warrior feared across the galaxy? Elias thought for only a second. Then he answered honestly. "Because you're hurt. That was all. No speech, no politics, no grand reason. Just the truth." Something changed in Shakara's expression. Small, almost invisible. But Elias noticed it. Confusion. In her world, weakness meant failure. Wounded soldiers were abandoned. Mercy did not exist, but this human stayed beside her anyway. Elias prepared the injector carefully. "This will hurt," he warned. Shakara gave a slow nod. The battlefield around them disappeared into silence. Even Captain Roran stopped speaking. Everyone watched. Elias pressed the injector against the damaged armor near her shoulder, then activated it. The medicine entered her bloodstream instantly, for 1 second. Nothing happened. Then Shakara's entire body suddenly locked. A painful gasp escaped her throat. Her claws dug into the dirt beneath her. Warning alarms exploded from the scanner. Red lights flashed violently across her armor. One soldier raised, his weapon in panic. "She's attacking!" But Elias quickly grabbed Shakara's shoulder and held her steady. "Stay with me," he said firmly. Her breathing stopped. The scanner screamed louder. Then, a sharp cough escaped her mouth. Her chest rose suddenly, then fell, then rose again. The scanner slowly changed from red to yellow. Her heartbeat stabilized, weak, but alive. Relief spread across Elias's face, but it lasted only 2 seconds, because somewhere above the battlefield, heavy engines suddenly roared through the sky. Every soldier looked upward. Dark shapes appeared through the smoke. Fast, silent, deadly. And Shakara's expression instantly turned cold. "They came to finish me," she whispered.